Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is so nice to be back podcasting. I would love to welcome everyone that is brand new to my channel and checking me out. I have had some new subscribers these past few weeks, and also a big happy hello to any returning viewers. My name is Ali and this is the Miss Ali Makes podcast. So it's a podcast all about my making journey and my fun, crafty adventures. I am coming to you from Australia. I live on the east coast of Australia with my amazing hubby and our 3 beautiful boys. And they also have had to learn over the years that mama is a crafter, and I tend to be one of those creative types that leaves my crap all over the house. And if I'm in a creative space, watch out, what can I say? So it is it is January. It's January 27th. Yesterday, the 26th of January, was Australia Day. So that's our Australia Day public holiday where we get together with friends and we barbecue sausages and onions, and we have barbecue like sangers for lunch. Sangers are sandwiches. And we have pavlova for dessert, which is like a meringue, like cake type thing, meringue and cream and passion fruit and yum. Now that's what we usually do, or that's what probably everyone else in Australia was doing yesterday. I unfortunately had to work and my hubby was working as well, so it didn't look quite the same as every other Australia Day, but that's okay. So we are just about at the end of our school holidays. My kids are back at school next week. So does anyone else feel like that at the end of the school holidays? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love having my kids home. I just love it. I love the no routine. I think that comes from being a bit of a crafty, creative type. So we just had a little bit of a step change. So I'm sitting down now. I was initially standing and then I was going to sit on a stool and I ummed and ahed and I'm like, right. So, like I said, it's the end of school, it's the end of 2017 Christmas school holidays for us here in Australia. And I love having my kids home. I really love having my kids home. I love the no routine. I love just getting to be able to be a bit spontaneous. And if we want to go to the beach, go to the beach. If we want to, I don't know whether that's too much glare. But anyway, whatever, sorry. Just not doing well in the department of, I look a little bit like a hot mess, and I wasn't actually thinking, I thought I had, I've literally straightened my hair twice in the last few days. I washed my hair because I thought I'll do a podcast on the weekend, and we've just had lots of extra kids, which is very normal again. And then my husband was like, oh, just take the boys to the beach just for a quick swim this afternoon. And I'm like, oh, that's my moment. Grabbed all the things, put the lip gloss on, glasses so that I can see what's going on, and welcome to the podcast, babes. This is real life in Australia, starring me. Anyway, so yeah, like I was saying, I really do love having my kids home. It has been a difficult season for our family. I am not going to go into too much detail, obviously, but my hubby and I, we decided late last year, he got given a really great opportunity with his job, and so he would need to be away from the house for 6 weeks. I don't even know what the frick we were thinking. Anyway, so we are smack bang in the middle, and we are heading into week 4, and so it has been really tiring and really challenging because, you know, I really love hanging out with my hubby and it's been hard. I know that it's such a great opportunity for him, like for his job, and that's really amazing. It's just that bit of, you know, getting through the next few weeks that I'm hoping are just literally going to fly by, because I am very tired and very much done and just want everything to be back to normal with our family. So that's why I probably have been a little bit quiet, especially on Instagram. So that is my probably social media platform of choice. I do scroll, I suppose, a bit through Facebook, but I'm not really that active. Instagram is definitely where I'm most active and where I, you know, chit chat a lot. But if you follow me on Instagram, which I will leave my Instagram handle somewhere on the screen here, you'll probably have noticed that I have been a little bit quiet. I have had a couple of messages just saying, hey, you've been a bit quiet. I hope everything's okay. So thank you very much to everybody who has reached out. Yes, I am absolutely fine. I'm just kind of eye on the prize, head down, sort of plowing through this season of unrest, I suppose, within our family unit. And I'm certainly thanking God for the opportunity for my hubby and for our family, but also, yeah, it's a lot, and yeah, I don't like it. But anyway, so I have been a little bit quiet on that front, but I think it's really nice with this community that we can be real, and the genuine friendships that I have made throughout the knitting and fibre and yarn community have been incredible, and one that I am incredibly thankful for, and never ceases to amaze me, really, of the generosity, of the love, of the you know, the genuine community that happens amongst people in our fibre community. So that's great. So I've pretty much been monogamously knitting on my Jody shawl, which sort of got pulled out of hibernation. I started it late last year. I dyed up the yarn for it myself, and I was really gung-ho about it, and then I'd run out. I ran out of one of the colours, so I had to go back and re-dye the skein, which I did. And so I sort of pulled it out to sort of get it going again, because I really want to wear it for winter this year. And even though winter in Australia feels like it's 100 light years away, because it is still so stinking hot out here. And it really amazes me, because I watch so many amazing podcasts with people that are literally snowed in their house. They can't get out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I am literally dripping sweat. And do you reckon that we can swap just for a couple of days for me to like cool down, and then I'll get back into the tropical of Australia? So, like I said, I've been pretty much monogamously working on my Jody shawl. So I will show it to you. I'm just working the lace section. So I've finished the garter section, and this wool is so soft and squishy. So it is Bendigo Woolen Mills, which is an Aussie wool company in Melbourne. And they have, so I literally just bought, this is a DK weight shawl, so it's an 8-ply shawl, and I just bought their 8-ply luxury yarn, which is really reasonable. I want to say it was about $14 for 200 grams, so it works out to be about $7 for a 100-gram ball, and I just dyed it up myself. So this was the first sort of dyeing that I did. So thinking about it now, I probably would have done the second colour, which is like the grey, which you can see it's striped through here. Like this is the big chunks of the greyer colour. I think maybe I would have done it differently and made color 1 and 2 a little bit more of a contrast, just so that I guess it's a bit more noticeable, especially when you're, introducing that new color, just so that you can definitely see where it starts and where it ends. But nonetheless, then all I did as well, so this was the color, this color 2 was the one that I had run out of. No, that's a lie, I tell a lie. It was actually the first color, so this color, which is so beautiful. It's my speckly one and I really loved it. And it's called, I don't even know. So that's good. It's called I Don't Know. And anyway, so I had run out of that. So I had re-dyed up another skein. So this is the last of it that I've got. So then I went ahead and did the color 2. And then right at the end here where we've started to stripe in the color 3 and color 2, I just used the color 1 again because I loved it and because I can see that these two, there's a really big contrast. So note to self, I'll remember that next time to sort of actually pre-plan a little bit. And I suppose it doesn't matter. In some shawls it wouldn't really matter, but this one I sort of wish now that I had but I mean, it's so deliciously soft. Oh my gosh. So like I said, this is my first shawl that I am nearly finished. So I have got the last, I'm heading back on a knit row, and then I'll end up right back over this end where the blue tail is, and then I will be just using the blue again. So then I'm pretty much done. I think I've got about maybe 10 more rows of the blue, and then she is done and ready for soaking and blocking. And I literally can't wait because, like I said, this is my first shawl that I've actually completed. I started the Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli last year, and I just didn't like it. I don't know whether I just didn't like the yarn colors that I chose. It's really interesting, isn't it, how your color palettes change over the time. I look at my stash now and I look at I look at what I'm buying and I think, goodness me, like I really have changed a lot in what I want to buy as far as my color tone and palette. And I remember watching an episode of the Legacy Knits podcast where Chelsea was talking a little bit about how she had lost her knitting mojo and she couldn't work out what was going on, and then she realized that what had happened was that her palette had changed. Her color palette had changed and she was wanting more subtles and pastels, and which is probably where I'm leaning to. I am a very vivacious, out there kind of person, and I do love specks of color. I love it. But I think I'm learning that what I really want is to be more maybe subdued and have like an occasional pop of color rather than the whole thing being really bright and out there. So yeah, so I'm really finished and I am very excited, and it's so squishy, like I said. So it's Bendigo Woolen Mills, they're 8-ply luxury DK, and I just dyed it myself, and it is really beautiful and I'm really happy with it. So, and Joji's patterns are so easy to follow. Like, I'm sure that I'm not the only person that has decided and discovered this, but her patterns are amazing and they are so easy and well written. And so if you are thinking about doing a really squishy shawl, the Jodie shawl is beautiful and I highly recommend that for sure. So second up, I have been bitten a little bit by the Scrappy project bug. Now, Bethany from Woolberry Fibre Co., her podcast, she has a podcast as well. She started a Scrappy sock along, which is, so basically you can use whatever scraps you've got. I am going to use these 5. Well, actually, what I might do, because I've already started with this one. So these 5. And I'm going to make some socks. Oops. So these are toe-up socks, 64 stitches. These are from my advent calendar that I bought from Rosehip Island. Rosehip Island, I don't know if she's Rosehip Island Fibre. I think she's just Rosehip Island. She's on Etsy and also Instagram, and Hannah is lovely. So, and yeah, her colours are gorgeous, and this is her 80-20 base, which, like I mentioned before, I've decided that that's my jam. That's what I like to knit socks out of as a rule. So yeah, so this is the start of my first sock. So I did the toe and the first stripe last Saturday, and then I sort of haven't really knit much on it, but I'm going to definitely wind up another skein, mini skein, and then I'm going to get going on the rest of these. So the other thing that I am going to do with my minis, and so I am on a little bit of a mini buying, well, when I say a mini buying, I'm not really, because I'm on a very, very, very big yarn diet at the moment. But Sandra from Cherry Heart Podcast has also been doing this blanket. I'll insert a picture of it here. So that's what I'm going to be doing with my minis. I have collected some from last year when I started knitting socks, and I'm going to knit all of the patterned, the variegated or indie dyed yarn. I'm going to crochet them into those squares, and then I'm going to just crochet a solid colour, which I am leaning towards the Bendigo Woolen Mills Luxury 4-ply in their stone colourway. So I'm going to order a couple of balls of that after I get going on my squares. I'm really excited about that because I really love to crochet as well. So I was a crocheter before I was a knitter, and I love to crochet. You guys know that if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you'll have seen a few blankets and things that have shown up every episode or every other episode. So I really love it, and so I'm looking forward to getting back to doing more crochet in 2018 for sure. But also, so my next thing that I would love to do with knitting is I'd like to knit a fingering weight shawl, because this Jody shawl is beautiful and it is a DK weight one. So I am looking forward to knitting a fingering weight shawl. So next up on my works in progress, which also really hasn't seen any real love or attention, I mentioned in the last podcast that I was wanting to knit a little baby sweater for a friend of ours at church that is going to have a baby. Well, her baby is due, like, I don't know, pretty soon. And so I am still very slack and terrible at this, because I've not really knit very much on that either. But so this is a Pippi Eve pattern. It is a paid for pattern. You can access these on her Etsy store, and it is called the Me-O cardigan. And it's super easy. It's really beginner friendly, because this is great. I've never knit a sweater before for a baby or even for an adult. And so this is the back that I've done. And just having a quick look, I think, what size did I choose? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, hello. Very clearly I've got no clue. I've done the 0 to 6 months. So I'm up to the, where am I up to? Okay, okay, so I'm now working on the front right hand side. So this is the back, and yet don't look too closely, because there is definitely some really big boo-boos. Not boo-boos as such, but like I've not dropped any stitches or whatever, but I actually had no clue how to to decrease like properly with that nice little cast off thing. So it does look a little bit janky, but it's handmade. She'll love it, and it's only janky because, like, I think it'll look okay when you actually sew it all together. I think it'll be fine. So this is the front right hand side. So I'm just using the 100% Australian wool. So it'll be really nice and warm. It is a little bit toothy. That's definitely the word. A little bit scratchy, but I'm hoping that when I soak it and wash it, like soak it, give it a really good soak and a really good wash in some wool wash, I think it will hopefully soften up a little bit, and it will certainly be nice and warm for the baby in the winter. So that is my last work in progress. I have nothing finished because who finishes things? Not me. So the other thing that I am going to talk about is my latest little idea. So I am going to call this newfound thing that I'm going to do, it's going to be called my blessing bag. And what I'm going to do is each month I am going to choose someone who I feel like has just popped on my heart. I'm going to bless them. Someone in the yarn community that, you know, because we really are very blessed to have an amazing yarn community. I have spoken before about my biggest heart calling is to love and serve others and to show others, you know, love and kindness and grace. And so I really wanted to give back. So each month I'm going to put together a little blessing bag. And when I thought about it, I thought, well, you know, a lot of people will think that's a great idea, but then there is that cost of having to send things overseas. And so what I want to do is I'm going to put together my first blessing bag. I've dyed up the yarn for that already today. I've dyed it up this morning, and it's a really lovely, it's a really rich burgundy color, and I'm really happy with it. And so what I'm going to do is, so each month I'm going to do a blessing bag. So of course the most logical thing that you'll be asking right now is, what the heck is a blessing bag, Ali? Well, so each month I'm going to send one lucky person a treat bag that looks a little bit like this. Well, these are, yeah, so this year, this is what the bags will look like, the purple spots. Each month, one person will get a blessing bag from me. In it will be a mini skein of yarn that I've dyed myself, a tea bag, and a little card. That's it. And it might not seem a lot, and it certainly won't be a huge amount to post. It will cost less than, I think I worked it out, it'll be about $8 or $9, I think, from here to America. So for me, I think, well, that's just 2 cups of coffee. So whatever, that's not a big deal, right? But what I want it to be is an opportunity to really be a blessing to somebody with no agenda, no expectation of having something returned to you in the mail or anything, simply just an opportunity to bless someone. And so I thought, if I just do a mini skein of yarn that I've dyed up, pop a tea bag in there, some yummy tea, because most knitters and crocheters and yarny people that I know definitely love to drink tea or coffee. So it'll either be a really nice little sachet of tea, or it might be a coffee tube, and a card from me, a handwritten card from me that'll be decorated, and just a little way to bless people or to bless someone. So like I said, it will be less than $10 definitely to post to the States. I know that it won't be that much within Australia, but I know as well, even to Europe and to Canada and the UK, it won't be very expensive. And for me, I just think this is a great opportunity for us as a knitting community, a yarn community, to really love and support and encourage one another. So I've reached out already to the lovely Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. Hello, lovely girl. And she is so excited to, just get the word out any way that we can. And I am also very, very pleased and excited to say that Kay is going to be my very first recipient of a blessing bag. So that's really exciting, and I'm sure that she will love it as well. So I'm just putting the general encouragement out there to any podcaster, or even if you aren't a podcaster but you love to knit and crochet, maybe you could think about putting together your own blessing bag, your own version of whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be very, very costly at all. Mine total, I think, would be less than $15 in total, and that will be shipped to anywhere in the world, really. And so for me, I just think that's a really amazing way to build extra friendships, because, often if you get a message from somebody on Instagram and you think, oh, wow, like, that's so kind that they wanted to send a little something to bless me today or whatever, with no expectation of anything in return, but just as a way to, really continue to show love within our yarny community. So if it's something that if that sounds like something that you might like to be part of, I encourage you to, come up with your own version of a blessing bag. You can message me on Instagram and chat with me about what you're thinking and what you would like to do. I would love to hear from as many people as possible. And also, if you send a blessing bag, I would love you to just send me a quick message on Instagram, just so that, it's this really lovely thing that happens. And I will work out what the hashtag will be, because I haven't actually had a chance to look up that at the moment, but I'm thinking Blessing Bag 2018. So I'll put whatever it is on the screen below, and let's get out there and let's start blessing our knitting and yarning community. And even just the thought of that makes my heart so full and so glad. So yeah, that was what I wanted to chit chat as well about today. So I've only got a couple of acquisitions. When I say a couple, I mean 4. And like I said, I'm on a really, really big yarn diet at the moment. And I am really enjoying dyeing my own yarn up. I have had a couple of people message me asking if I'm going to open up an Etsy shop. At this stage, probably not. My dyeing is mostly just for me, mostly just to see how, different colors play together. And yeah, maybe in the future, maybe I'll think about it. But for the very, very near future, the answer is no. So without further ado, I bought a lovely tweed skein of yarn called Earl Grey from Lovebird Lanes. And this is very true to colour. It is so pretty. It is mauves and mushroomy browns, and it's just beautiful. I love it. So this is on her 85-15 base. So it's 85 superwash merino and 15 Donegal nep. It is not for socks. So this has no nylon. Oops, sorry for that. It has no nylon in it. So I was a little bit bummed because I did buy it with the thought that I wanted to knit socks, but sadly this is going to have to be in a shawl. So I am looking around for a really nice fingering weight shawl at the moment. If you know of any really nice fingering weight shawls, please leave the names of them in the comment box below. That would be amazing. But yeah, Julianne is lovely. She is on Etsy as Lovebird Lanes. She's also on Instagram as Lovebird Lanes, as Lovebird Lane Yarns, or Lovebird Lane. I think it's just Lovebird Lane. Anyway, very nice. Love the colour. So much so that then the next week, when she had a little tiny update, I bought this skein of yarn, which is called Violet Leopard, and it is a micro striping one, which I'm very excited to see knit up. This is her Swindon sock base. So yes, Alison got it right. Does it happen to anyone else? You get so excited and caught up in the moment when someone's having an update that you just sort of shove things in your cart and check out because you're just so paranoid that you're going to get cart jacked, but then you actually realize that you buy the wrong base? Yep, that was me. But anywho, I digress. So this is her Swindon sock base, which is an 80-20 base, which, as we know, that is my favorite base for socks. It is 432 yards, 100 grams, and it is called Violet Leopard. And I think that will look super, super cute in some socks. So I'm definitely excited to cast those on. Next up is my December. I actually think it was, I don't know whether it was a Christmas Eve. I think it was meant to be a Christmas Eve like cast on, but I didn't get it in time because it's hard when you live in a whole other like part of the globe. But this is from Woolberry Fibre Co. And I really love Bethany's colours. I love, love, love the subtle, meanwhile this isn't probably very subtle, but I just love it. I love her colourways. And this one is called It's Magical. It is a Gilmore Girls Club reference. And that's the little mini that goes with it, which is super, super cute. So I'm really excited to knit this one up. I am thinking that I'm going to knit that up into some socks. Or the other thing that I don't know whether I'm going to knit this into socks now or if I'm going to put it away and pull it out in December or in November and knit it then. Or I might even knit it in July for Christmas in July socks. Because it's not like here in Australia we wear socks at Christmas time because it's 800 stinking degrees. It is so hot and we are like not in the place of being able to wear hand knits at all at Christmas time, or else we would be passing out. And nobody wants that. So I then signed up for Bethany's Gilmore Girls Club. And I'm pretty sure that club, I bought it in December. So it's January, February, March. And this is her January colorway, which I really love. So this block of three monthly club is inspired by Gilmore Girls. It is inspired by the men of Gilmore Girls. So this colorway is called I Love You, You Idiot. And it's obviously a Dean reference. And it is so stinking cute. So I love it. Do you know what I mean? I really love the pastel colors and just with the little, like, you know, the little pops of, like, it's so beautiful. And with the green mini. I'm not sure that I love that mini. I don't know whether I might change it for one of these ones that I got in my, like this, because I think this looks very nice together. So I think I might swap it for that. And what I might do actually is just add that in. So do toes, heels, and cuffs, and then sort of mix it up throughout that. But I really like that skein. I really like the way that she chooses her colours because they really resonate with me. So yeah, that is all of my purchases, which are, you know, very much minimal, but you know, we're on a yarn diet and that's what it is. And so this episode will definitely be a bit shorter, I think, than other episodes, but I really wanted to get one out because I had a lovely message from the beautiful Heather, who is Quilt Crazy on Instagram, and she is one part of the duo of the Feathered Stitches podcast, and I really love her, and I'm very thankful, you know, that through this knitting community we really have become, you know, we've really become friends, and so that's really lovely. So she was like, when are you going to be podcasting again? And like I said, because my kids have been on school holidays, because hubby's been away for work, because it has been like crazy whirlwind time of year. I know that everybody is the same. I just literally haven't had a chance. So I really was very thankful that hubby was like, I'm just going to take the kids for a couple of, for an hour or whatever this afternoon. I'm like, oh, quick, grab all of the things and let's get a podcast recorded. So there are a couple of places that you can find me. Like I said, mostly I am on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle that's up on the screen now. Go and follow me and go and follow me over there. It would be really great to chat with you and connect. I am also on Ravelry as Seed Studio. So Seed Studio is the brand that my yarn will go under, as far as when I gift people yarn and things, it'll have a Seed Studio tag on it. So I'm very rarely on Ravelry, to be honest. I have no project pages. I have no clue how to do it, and I mostly go on Ravelry to favorite things or put things in my library, print patterns, buy patterns. That's pretty much the extent of my Ravelry journey. I would like to this year maybe try to get a bit of a clue about how to do things on Ravelry, but I can't really commit to that. So, this is just what it is. At least I'm honest, right? So you can find me, like I said, pretty much mostly. Head over to Instagram and follow me there, because I am generally most active on there, and I'd love to chat with you guys a little bit. So mostly I'm really excited about this Blessing Bag 2018. I have been trying to work out ways to, trying to work out what I wanted to put in them and all of that. And so I really feel like I have done that, and I am super duper excited about the concept, and I cannot wait to start sending out the blessing bags and getting them going out in the world, which is super exciting. So, like I said, if you would like to start your own or get in contact with me to chit chat about what that might look like for you, or how you could get involved, or what you could do, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, and I would love to chat with you. So, the plan going forward is I'm hoping that every 2 weeks there's going to be a podcast, because like I said, my kiddos are back to school next week, and I'm hoping to be able to squeeze in a little bit of time in between working and being a mama and all of those amazing things that I love so much, to podcast and share what I'm knitting, crafting, crocheting, dyeing, all of those sort of things that I love to do with you guys too, because it's so much fun and it's such a blessing to me. So I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. Be blessed, happy crafting, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye-bye.